back to my channel. So today's look is all based upon Benefit. So from lips to bronzer to eyes, primers and skincare. I love Benefit as a brand. I love the packaging from the cool brushes. I mean, it's blue. Like, not a lot of brushes are these cool colours. And testing out some new products that are new to the market and seeing if they're worthwhile. Especially this, because this is the Hula, which is the liquid version of the powder, which is, I think, probably their best seller, which is a matte bronzer, which is really great for contouring. So yeah, stay tuned to see how to recreate this look. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is put on some cream. I'm using the triple performing facial emulsion from Benefit. This is just part of the little tester kit. Smooth it in. Okay, I'm then going to put on some Porefessional. This is a tiny little tester because I'm not sure if I am 100% sure of it at the moment, so I'm going to try it out. It's really nice and creamy. Just a little bit all over. It's very thick, so a little does go a long way. So that's done. It does smell very nice. So foundation, I'm using the Hello Flawless Oxygen Wow. So this is really nice. So this is a brightening makeup. So I'm just going to give it a quick pump onto the back of my hand. And this brush is the Stippling brush by Real Techniques, which is really nice. It's quite easy to use. Let's just gather a little bit. And put that on my face. And then I always go out from the inside out. And then always on the chin and down, because otherwise you're going to get tight lines. I know this brush is meant for swirling, but I tend to do that after because foundation really needs to be blended out well. And this brush gives a really nice flawless airbrush look, rather than the regular kind of paintbrush. More like that. That's flat. Then I'm just going to buff that in. Stipple. Sometimes though, if you have very dry skin, the stippling is not the best idea because it will act as an exfoliant, so it will actually kind of make the foundation clump, which isn't very good, especially if you're on a time scale. I've done that so many times when I've just worked it in and my skin's so dry that it's just clumped, and I thought, oh my god, I'm gonna have to do this all over again. So buff that in. Okay, so that is that done. Next I'm going to go on to my concealer, and this is the Fake Up from Benefit, and this is in 01 Light, and this I'm just going to put under my eyelid. Now this is a really great product because it's got like a hydrating cream around the outside and then the actual product in the middle, so if you have really dry skin, it's perfect. And the brush that I use with this is the Max Coverage Concealer brush from Bare Minerals. And what I do is I put it in the corner of my eye, because this is where I get a lot of darkness. And then also just underneath my eyebrow, just to kind of raise that a little bit. And then I kind of pat this in and bring it down. Brush that in. And also it kind of acts a little bit as a highlighter. I always think I look so weird right now because my lips just seem so pale. but as soon as I get some lipstick on, I always think it looks so much better. And the same with mascara, like whenever I do eyeshadows and stuff, I always think, oh, it looks so bad. And then as soon as you put on the mascara, it's a completely different look. Now Benefit have several great products for concealing. So they have Lemonade, which is very, very yellow. And this is basically just for colour correcting as an eyelid primer. But because it's so pigmented, I just put a little bit on my, you can see how pale it is. And you could probably use this as under eye concealer because it is so colourful. So actually this would be really good. I think it will stop creasing. And also if your makeup like kind of sweats off during the day, this will be good to keep it stuck on. Also Benefit have their Boings. This is from one of their kits and it has the first and the second colour on it. I don't think this is as good as the Fake Up to use under your eyes and as a daily basis. This is more of like a camouflage sort of thing for spots and stuff like that and the such like. Okay, so moving on, the next thing that I'm going to do is use this, which is Dew Healer. You can buy, doesn't come with unfortunately, this brush which is the, I think it's called like the Hula brush, which is, it's so soft and it's quite cool. The colours all kind of match, it kind of gives the kind of tiki feel. So I'm just going to run that, do a little light bit of contouring up on my forehead, temples, try and move a bit more of my forehead, it's quite large. Now if you go too much over the board, I always have like a little bit of foundation left. So you can kind of mix those two together on your hand and just get rid of any harsh lines. So Benefit do these really good tints. Lolitint's more purple. And it's, I always love putting this on in front of my friends because they always think, why are you putting nail polish on? So it's quite a nice purple colour. Whereas Benetint, which I think is probably their original, is more of a red colour. So I put this on a brush because it's even. And put it on the uppers of my cheeks. We'll have some colour. Then the next step is High Beam, which is their highlighter. So I just put this on my tops of my cheeks. So I'm going to be using Lolitint, and this is a really pretty colour. Candy Orchid Tinted Lip and Cheek Stain. Okay. So that's just the first kind of coat. You can always do more or less. Okay, so for eyes, I'm going to use their Real Push-Up Liner, and this is in, I think it's just literally called Black. It's meant to make doing winged eyes a lot easier, but I don't know if it's that easy. It's meant to hug your lash line. I think it's easier to actually use an angled brush. So you got to twist the end to get it to come out. So what I do is I do just pull my eye a little bit, and you always have to draw a little bit of a wing first. Just at the angle that you want it to come out at. And you can draw it down. So difficult to do on camera, I need like a little mirror. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other eye. It was really difficult to do because it kept clumping at the end of the tip applicator, and it feels very heavy on my eyes right now. I can really feel that it's on. Okay, so now onto mascara. This has got to be the best mascara I've ever used. It's the Roller Lash. You don't need to curl your lashes, so gone are the days that I would curl my eyelashes and my eyeliner would end up on my crease. So luckily, that is no longer an issue. So I just kind of zigzag it up. With this look, you don't really need a lot on the lower lashes because the lips and the eyeliner is so strong. So literally just a tap on the lips. And that is the finished look for the day. So this is using completely all Benefit products. I hope you liked it. Please like, comment and subscribe. Thanks, bye guys.